Labor standoff between the UAW and Detroit's big three automakers is nearing a second week.
Yes, both sides are vowing to expand their actions if negotiators cannot work out a deal by Friday. Nearly 13,000 GM, Ford, and Stellantis workers are now on strike at 3 facilities. The union president says more workers will walk off the job tomorrow unless there is serious progress in the negotiations. Meanwhile, automakers say more layoffs are coming if the strike continues.
CBS News senior transportation correspondent Kris Van Cleave joins us now from Michigan. Kris, it's good to see you. So the UAW has set a Friday deadline for a deal. What's going to happen tomorrow if another 12 to 15,000 auto workers walk off the job?
Well, we don't know how many auto workers will be called on to strike. It could be similar to what we saw a week ago. It could be much larger. Right now, they have called a strike at 3 plants. It's about 13,000 UAW workers on strike. The union could do the same thing again and pick 3 more plants. They could go much bigger. So we don't know. But what will happen is whatever plants are struck, the workers will walk off the job tomorrow, and those plants will cease producing whatever it is they make. If they're an assembly plant, whatever vehicle they assemble, say big pickup trucks, those will stop being assembled. If it's an engine plant, they'll stop making engines. And that becomes significant because if automakers don't have engines, they can't build cars. So they'll run out of supplies at other plants. And that's where, when the automakers say more layoffs could occur, that's what they mean. If you take out more plants, it will ripple through their system. It's not a situation where workers will walk off the job at X number of plants and then an automaker will respond with, well, then we're laying off people at some other plant. That's not exactly how that'll play out. It will be more as parts run out, as supplies run out, as they're not able to do what a plant would normally do, then the automakers will look at idling that plant, and that's where layoffs start happening.
Well, Kris, it seems like wages are the biggest sticking point in these negotiations. A 40% wage increase is what the union's pushing for. They say that that's in line with what the CEOs have been getting. But is there anything else that automakers could offer that would sweeten the deal enough for an agreement, or do they really need to land somewhere close to what the union's asking for?
Well, we're not in the room, so we don't know what the magic lines are here, and I don't think either side knows what that number is. The sense we've gotten from the sources we've talked to that are familiar with the negotiations that is that there's a big gap, but what it is that builds the bridge to get across it remains unclear.
So, Kris,
the automakers have pushed back very strongly about that 40% number. About their CEOs. There's no question that CEOs are very well compensated and have gotten and make millions and millions of dollars. But that 40% number the automakers say just isn't true.
Just from what you know at this point, Kris, what if the CEOs take a pay cut? Would that sweeten the deal?
We asked Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, that very question, and he said he didn't really see the point of that, didn't see what that would accomplish. So yeah, I think the issue for the auto workers is, putting more money in their pockets, not necessarily taking some money out of the CEO's pockets, because even if you trickled that down, it would not be a substantial necessary raise when you look at 150,000 auto workers. It's hard to say $1 million doesn't go very far, but when you divide it by 150,000, it doesn't go very far. Could you see something like that as a bargaining chip that sort of puts it over the top? Maybe. But they have substantial disagreements on salary increases, on benefits. The union wants their pensions back. They want a 4-day work week. And the automakers say those two things are just non-starters. They call them untenable.
Untenable. Well, I mean, 1 million doesn't go far, but 29. Kris Van Cleave, thank you so much.
Sure thing.